Welcome back to CEO.CA. As you can see, we're on location in Vancouver at the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference. And sitting beside me is Galen McNamara, CEO of Summa Silver. So let's start with one of the first things that I think of, which is you're in famous mining districts. Why is that?
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me on. That's a really good question that frames our whole approach to this company since founding. You know, why these old mining districts? And I'm a geologist by trade, and I always find that when you look at these places, these old historic mining districts that helped shape American history in the Western United States, when you look at places like this and they don't have any modern exploration, we just have the tools today that the people that came before us did, and they did great work, don't get me wrong, but we have all these new tools today that if you take a modern approach to discovery, you can be really successful. And we've got two of these places now, and so far so good over the last 4 years.
And those two places, district-wise, Nevada and New Mexico. Let's start with Nevada. Tell us about the history there and what the potential is as well.
Yeah, so the project in Nevada is called the Hughes Project, and we named it after Howard Hughes because just coincidentally he used to own it. So that's just a tip of the cap to the history of the area, the rich history of the area. And this is located in the Tonopah Mining District. It's the eastern half of the Tonopah Mining District, and its extensions, it's 4.2 kilometer extension. This is a place that past production, 175 million ounces of silver and almost 2 million ounces of gold at grades of about 1,200 grams per ton silver equivalent. Okay, so take away, really big past producer, really high grade. And you know, through the decades, it's like maybe everything's been taken out of there. Maybe there's nothing left. But you know, our approach has been a very detailed approach to the geology, very detailed geological modeling. Not to get too far into the weeds, came up with some great targets in 2020. Started drilling those and hit right away, and haven't stopped since then. So that's Nevada. Mm-hmm. The other project is called the Mogollon project in New Mexico. Another one of these historic mining districts, the largest historic silver producer in a high grade sense in the state of New Mexico, but only produced 16 million ounces of silver and almost 350,000 ounces of gold. But this is akin to the Mexican mining districts that the Spanish have been mining going back 500 years, and probably the indigenous people before that produced hundreds and hundreds of millions of ounces. I think this is the most northerly of those vein fields, and there's just so much potential. So we've drilled and worked on about 2 kilometers of vein. There's 77 kilometers of vein and potential structure on the project, no modern exploration.
So with that potential and scale, what's the exploration strategy overall for the company?
Yeah, so to start, I think the most important thing and about the company right now is that we just published mineral resource estimates on both the projects on Thursday. So that's 3 days ago now. And somebody was telling me the other day, he says, I think you're the first company to put out resource estimates on 2 projects on the same day for a junior. I was like, maybe that's correct. So those really are going to help benchmark our value going forward, I think. 2 resources in the inferred category, and this is between 2 projects. In the inferred category, about 68 million ounces. In the indicated category, an additional 10, so 78 million ounces, give or take, total. But I mean, we're not sitting back and stopping. It's just really, those are just a start line. It's not a finish line where I kind of say abracadabra, now the stock price goes up. That's not how it works. So we're continuing to work hard. We're drilling now on the Hughes project in Nevada, stepping out around where we know there's really good mineralization aggressively, between 85 meters to 100 meters per step out. To start to get an idea of the footprint. But of course, there's an additional 4 kilometers for us to drill and an extension of the entire district. And where's the big deposit? And that's what we're really also trying to find out now.
In terms of financing and where you're kind of at and where you want to be for this year, I'm curious how you're riding the tides of a difficult market.
Yeah, for sure. We're all kind of riding the tides of a difficult market. But the point I will make is that silver companies are very rare relative to our gold peers, and that's not to say anything bad about them. I own a bunch of gold stock. That's just how it is. That's just the reality of the situation. So silver companies are rare. High-grade silver companies and projects are even rarer. Those 2 things, plus in the United States, I mean, you can count them on one hand, right? So I think that's part of our competitive advantage in that we're in a rare group of peers, number one. Number 2, in terms of working capital for us, we're sitting at about $6 million. So we're in a good spot to go out and continue to add value and attack our project in Tonopah, the Hughes project, aggressively to try to continue to add value through the drill bit. So that's really how I'm thinking about that.
Thank you so much.
Great, thank you.